In this week's video, I ponder the essential footwear for van life. I share my disappointment with the longevity of a pair of walking boots. Most importantly, we visit an old favourite and give you a quick tour before a rendezvous with my son to collect some parcels, fit a new tap and get some much needed chores done. But first, welcome to our channel. We are Kath, Sue, Archie and Fudge, and we are well into our second year of full-time van life. We love exploring the UK and sharing the little gems we find, choosing where we stay to suit our love of the outdoors and making the most of our retirement together. Well, good morning everyone. Now today I thought I'd have what will probably seem like a really random conversation with you. But I was thinking about what are the best things about van life, and one of the best things about van life for someone like me is the ability to just wear really casual clothes. And when you don't work and you're retired like me, then you can just be like this all of the time, and that really suits me. Even when I wear smart clothes, I never really look smart. There was something wrong with my body. My body doesn't like smart clothes. Anyway, I thought I'd talk specifically about shoes, and I'll come to it in a minute about why I'm talking about this. But in van life, there are 3 pairs of shoes that I wear all year round. First of all, my flip-flops. I've got a flip-flop tan on my feet, and when it's really hot, I wear these all the time. These are crop flip-flops. They're so comfy that if we're wandering around a town for a couple of hours, I'll still wear these because they're so comfy. Second pair, Crocs. My trendy rainbow Crocs. So these were a present. All my friends made fun of me because I wear Crocs. And even more so when I went to the supermarket in Crocs. Apparently that's against the law. But I love my Crocs because they're so comfy. And some friends bought these for me when we first set off. I did have a pair and they bought me a new pair, rainbow pair. So those have been going for about 15 months now. And I haven't clearly stood on anything spiky yet because there's no spikes coming up through the sole. So they're good to go. But the third pair of shoes that I wear all very, very regular. I mean, they're pretty much my day wear shoes, are my walking boots. And this is the reason why I thought I'd talk to you about shoes today, because as you can see, they're pretty well worn. But these are my probably about 4th or 5th pair of these Solomon walking boots. Ooh, and they've got a fousty smell, and that's because they're wet inside. And they're not wet inside because I've walked in a stream or anything like that, although I probably have at some point, but they're actually wet inside because they've got a leak. Now, this is now the second pair of these boots that have gone around this joint. I love these Solomon boots, and they really suit my feet. And every now and again I have a dalliance with a different pair of walking boots, and I always end up effectively swapping them out and going back to these well before the boots themselves are worn out. But these are obviously worn out. But the reason I wanted to do this because they're less than a year old. I went back and looked at my records, and I bought them from Cotswold Camping less than a year ago. So I'm going to take these back to Cotswolds. I don't know how long the guarantee is, and as you can see, they are, they're well worn. So I'm not sure whether I'm expecting too much and whether it's wear and tear that you would expect, but the fact that 2 pairs now have gone in exactly the same place makes me think that might not be the case. Anyway, let me know in the comments below if you think I'm expecting too much and a year out of a pair of walking boots is okay, and I should just accept that I'm going to have to go and buy myself a new pair, or whether you think that's a product fault and whether I've got a bit of a case to say, come on, swap them out for a new pair of boots. Anyway, you let me know what you think in the comments below. Well, good afternoon. We've made it to our next location, which is a beautiful little site called Matley Wood in the New Forest. Now, it's one of the camping in the forest sites. I think we're paying just over £11 a night for this. It's in an absolutely beautiful location. It's got water, it's got waste, but no other facilities other than this magnificent countryside that we're right in the middle of now. Matley Wood used to be one of our favourite places to come to in the summer, but we've not been back here actually since we left home in March of 2022. So it's really nice to come back here and experience what we did, you know, when we were working and we had the odd weekend to be able to get away and really enjoy the countryside. Nice to be back. Well, good morning everyone. I thought I'd show you a little bit of the site that we're on at the moment. It's called Matley Wood. It's not far from Lyndhurst, and it's a site that we really love, particularly on a day like today. It's absolutely gorgeous. But let me show you where the bins are. So this is the chemical waste and water point. It's the only one on the site. And then you've got the bins here as well with recycling. We always like recycling when we see them on sites. Now this is the track that brings you into the site. I'm looking as if we were going out, and if I spin round you'll see that you've got the wood right beside the site, and then pitches the other side of the track. As you can see as I wander through here, you can literally, any space you can find amongst these trees you can park in. And we've been here in the past and nestled ourselves away right in this far corner of the site, and it's really peaceful. You do get people walking through because there's lots of public footpaths around here. You can see there, we are nestled in the trees. Sue's put up her windbreak, which for us there's no wind, so it's not breaking wind. Oh, that doesn't sound right. But what it is doing is stopping the dogs seeing quite so many people walk by, and therefore barking. Just reduces their barking. So as it gets even warmer, I thought I'd just walk you from the back of our pitch onto the public footpath that takes you into, I'm presuming it is called Matley Wood. So I'm still going. Oh, I'm off the site and I'm on the public footpath. And this is what you've got. And of course, once you're here, the dogs can be off their lead. And everywhere you go in the New Forest, you come across things like this. A big old tree that's been down some time, as far as I can remember actually. This tree's been here. Oh, a bit of shade, looks nice. So this is the gate that denotes the end of the site. There's Bertie and our pitch. So hopefully you'll agree this, well, if you're like Sue and I, and you like rural and seclusion and peace and quiet and nature, I think hopefully you'll agree that this is a lovely place. Well, morning folks, wish me luck. Sue and I have just arrived at Cotswolds at Hedge End. That's where I'm going to take my boots to and see what they've got to say about the damaged part at the front. Whatever happens, I'll be coming out with a new pair of boots. It'd be nice if they replace them, but I'm a little bit dubious because they are pretty well worn. But I'm going to ask anyway, so we'll let you know how we get on. Well, hi folks, just an update on where we got when we went into Cotswolds. So they had a look at my boots, which are these ones, which I've shown you before, and suggested that I clean them up and they will send them back to Solomon and get them to make an assessment. So just to remind you, you've seen it already, but this bit here is completely, well in fact both sides, the kind of suede leather are split at the seam with the kind of rubber thing at the front. So they've said if I clean them up and take them back, they'll send them back to Solomon for an assessment. Of course, in the meantime, I can't really do without a pair of boots because I wear them maybe not so much in the summer, but as soon as it gets a bit wet, then I'm out with the dogs walking. So I do need a new pair of boots, and I really was just going to buy the same boots again, but their kind of boot person in store recommended a slightly different boot for me, which is this one. It's called an Alta Bunyan 2 Lady GTX. Alpha Bunyan 2 Lady GTX. So it's obviously a completely different boot than I've had before. I may end up regretting this, because I have had a dalliance with other boots in the past and just not got on with them, ended up with one boot giving me some problems in my heel, and I ended up then going back and buying the Solomon boots, which in themselves are not cheap, they're about £160. These are actually slightly more expensive, but with the discount that I can get at Cotswolds, which is 15%, and that's by virtue of being a member of the Caravan and Motorhome Club, then it comes down, they came to £199, so still not cheap, and I do want them to last. But they're quite light for a kind of mainly leather boot. They do feel quite light. Apparently, the guy in the shop said they're made for ladies with well-worn feet. I think he meant for like old women like you. Not that he said that. Anyway, we'll see how we get on with these. Morning, everyone. So I thought I'd give you a bit of an update on the tap front. So as you know, we were having issues. We thought we had a blocked tap, so we ordered a new part, and my son Dan came over, dropped it off for us at the site that we're at the moment, along with all the other things that we'd ordered from Amazon when we knew we were going to be quite close to home. So he dropped the tap off. We cheated a little bit, because I know Sue said she could do it, but whilst Dan was here, we said, oh, could you give us a hand, please? And I was going to say we did it together, but really Dan did it, and I looked on. But at the moment, we have a new tap. The new tap works perfectly, and all we're doing now is keeping our fingers crossed that it was a blockage in the tap, and therefore the fact that we've got a new tap and we're using it doesn't recreate the previous leak that we had. But so far, so good. Well, it's a busy day today. I'm just waiting for Sue to finish off in the shower, because we've got a number of things planned. So first of all, laundry day. So there's Sue prepping the laundry. Well, just put the laundry into the machines, 2 machines. That's doing it all, and I'm going to go and get myself a cup of coffee. Look at the size of that. Right, update. I'm back at Cotswold Camping with my clean-ish boots, my old pair that is, to take them back in and hopefully get the same response that I did yesterday, which is we will send them back to Solomon and see what they say. So that's it. The boots are gone, and Cotswolds have said they're going to send them off. They'll go tonight, and then I should get correspondence directly from Solomon themselves. We don't know what they'll say, but it's worth a try, isn't it? Now, what next? So one of the other things that I got, I'd sent and Dan brought over to us, were for some retractable ladders. That's so I can get on the roof of the van easily, or at least get up to the roof of the van easily, and keep the solar panel nice and clean. They've arrived now, but I now want to get some foam or some covering so that I can lean it up against wherever we're working and not damage the side of the van. So I'm going to go to B&Q next. Made it, and off to find a piece of foam. Does anyone else ever come into B&Q and get carried away? I'm like a kid in a sweet shop, so I've already bought those pliers with a bent end, because I think they might be easier with those little connections pulling together. And because it's in such a tight space, a little dinky, by dinky I mean short, Phillips screwdriver. And now I'm in the storage section, like storage boxes. I could spend a fortune in here. So after looking at my options, I got some polyethylene foam underlay roll, which I think might be the solution for our retractable ladder. We'll find out. I think we'll probably end up putting it on and then taking it off when we finish, so I've got a big roll of it. Right, off to treat myself now to the thing that is a real treat for me. Sue's not with me, although she does know today. So it's called Kath's fried chicken. At least in my book it is. I'll see you there. Oh, that's it. Got it? There you go. Kath's fried chicken. So I'm now going to, this is an instructional video now for all those, I don't know why I'm doing this actually, because I'm pretty confident that all those Vanlifers and motorhomers know how to do that, but just in case, right? Finished, this is now rubbish. This is a bin. Look, rubbish in the bin. And if anybody's worried about recycling, unfortunately there's lots of grease and food on that, so it's not suitable for going in the recycling bin, and there isn't a recycling bin here anyway. But you know, much as I was tempted to just chuck it in the bush, I managed to resist the temptation and put it in the bin. Can please everybody do that? Okay, next stop is the dump. So I've got lots of cardboard packaging which came with the stuff that Dan brought to us yesterday, and some bottles. So I'm going up to the dump to get rid of all that in the various different bits of recycling bins. And with all the chores completed, it was time to sit back and enjoy the tennis. Well, I think we're going to leave this video where we started, and that is back at Matley Wood. We've even managed to get onto the same pitch again. So thank you so much for watching. If you've enjoyed the video, think about giving us the thumbs up. If you're not subscribed, then subscribe to the channel. It's absolutely free, and don't forget to ding that little bell so that YouTube will let you know every time we post a new video. Otherwise, we'll see you next time.